Welcome back to Ric's Corner. I have Rich Piana again, and we're going to talk about some things that you've mentioned on YouTube and things that we're going to be really out in the front about this, and we want to talk about Synthol. A lot of you guys have written in last time he was on, say, oh, he's on Synthol, he's doing this, he's doing that, and a lot of the haters, of course, and a lot of the guys write in and they say everything is great. So we got to get this straight about the Synthol because there are a lot of people doing it, as you know. And let's be honest, what do you think of it, and do you use it? And let's just go into that.
The truth of the matter is I've tried it. I've tried pretty much everything there is out there to try because this is what I do.
Yes.
You know? The people that have actually used it are the ones that know. And the people that have never used it are the ones that have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And people that have used it will know that it's a nightmare, it's painful, and the muscle... it ruins the look of the muscle.
Yes,
completely ruins it. Blurs it, soft, watery, bloated, the veins go away. It pretty much ruins every aspect of the muscle. The bicep peak will be over-exaggerated, maybe even to a point, look like a triangle.
Some of the biceps look like a loaf of bread.
Yeah, I mean, it just ruins the entire look of the muscle, and you actually, it's something that has to be done almost on a daily basis,
right.
So... most guys that do it will wear a short sleeve shirt or, to hide, the needle marks.
Right.
Or to hide the, the purple bruises, from injecting over and over. I mean, there's some of the crazy ones you see out there that just have, they have 12-inch forearms and 30-inch biceps.
I've seen them.
I mean, they're actually getting like, the syringes that are like 50 cc, cattle syringes.
Yeah.
And they're injecting like 50 cc's at a time, just boom, at one time.
Right.
And that's how they're getting that look.
When you did it, how much did you take and where did you inject it?
Well, I basically follow the protocol that everyone in the world has followed, and everyone that talks to me says, oh, I'm going to try Synthol, and I already know what they're going to try because they Google Synthol, they see the protocol on the internet, and they follow that.
Okay.
And the protocol on the internet is basically bullshit. It's not going to work. It's a waste of time. Yeah. You're going to go through pain, trauma. You're not going to be able to get very good workouts, and the end result, you might get a 1/4 of an inch on your arm.
Yeah.
But your arm is going to look smaller, because of the bloaty inflammation, that it causes.
Right.
Another thing, the biggest misconception of Synthol that people have is that supposedly you take Synthol and you push it in the muscle and it stretches the fascia tissue, which allows the muscle more room to grow. So the muscle's going to grow at a faster rate by taking Synthol.
Right.
Well, just thinking about it logically, if you put an oil inside your muscle, basically the muscle can't breathe. It's not getting blood, it's not getting nutrients, it's not getting oxygen, and your muscle cells will die off. So you're actually going to create a smaller arm if you continue to inject Synthol over the years. It's actually counterproductive as far as building a bigger arm.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so I mean, the things you read on the internet are bullshit. And all you have to do is think about it logically. Just use your brain and think about it. If I put a gob of oil in my arm, what is it doing?
Right.
It's blocking whatever the blood and, the oxygen and everything, and, it's dangerous.
And it's going to break down and go through the heart.
Yeah, and if you inject in a vein or artery, it could kill you. That's what happened to Curtis Leffler. He injected in his calf, and he put it in an artery and went right to either his heart or his lungs, and he died.
Oh, Jesus.
And the thing is, a lot of people don't understand is when you put a syringe in and you pull back and you have air and it's all good, when you go to push the plunger, the syringe will go a little deeper because you're putting pressure on it.
Right.
So you might be out of a vein or artery as you're pulling back. As you push it in, it's going to go a little further.
Yes.
And you could just be right next to a vein and boom. That's very,
okay.
It's
let's use your body for an example. And you guys watch this. If you're going to inject Synthol and you got to do the lateral head, then you've got to do the posterior or the anterior and the posterior head. So you've got to inject 3 spots. I've seen guys just do this one and it's off balance.
Yeah.
So if you're going to inject this side, you got to do that side. So you need 3 injections on each shoulder, and it's painful.
Yeah.
And they may not be the same. It takes a lot. If you're going to do the bicep, you don't do the center of the bicep, what somebody we know in the gym, and they have a big lump in the middle. You've got to do the whole thing, and there's several injections there.
Yeah.
Same with the tri.
Yeah.
Then you got to go to the pec, the traps, and all of your body. You can't inject yourself every day 15 times, and it's no pleasure. It's going to hurt like hell.
It's painful. I mean, basically when I competed, if you look at my bicep, I'm lacking peak. I don't have that great of a peak when you look at it. There's not that great of a peak.
Okay.
So I wanted, a nicer peak. Like Albert Beckles.
Yeah.
And
is that genetic?
it is genetic, but Synthol I figured could give me a better peak, and so I tried it, and it did give me a little bit better peak, but I lost. You couldn't see the veins.
Yeah.
You couldn't see the muscle fibers. You couldn't see anything. So it was counterproductive for me. But it's funny how people will look at my bicep that has no peak and say, "Yeah, he's using Synthol."
I know. You have a huge tricep.
If I was using Synthol, I would definitely have a peak.
Okay, you've achieved a lot of size in the past year or two. From when we did Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
A lot of size. Even your forearms, every muscle is, everything's in order.
Yeah.
Everything you have is in order. There's not one bigger than the other. They all go together.
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible to do Synthol on your whole body like that and have it be normal.
Yeah, I know, it's impossible.
But what do you attribute all this growth to in the past 2 years?
A lot of it is I leaned out and my muscles show a lot. It's kind of an illusion because it's funny that, like my clothing line, this is a size large.
Yeah.
And people will ask, they'll say, the biggest size I sell is a large. So people are like, I need a triple X, and I'm like, no, you don't.
Yeah, of course.
But I mean, there's people that wear a bigger size shirt than me, but they look a lot smaller than I am.
Right.
So it's a lot of it's an illusion. Is leaning out. When I was, 305, 310, I didn't look nearly as big as I do now. Weighing, 285, 290, whatever I am.
Yeah, I remember that.
So, but yeah, I mean, basically the way I train is like we've talked about before. Is I go for the pump.
Mm-hmm.
I'm constantly just pumping. And I train instinctively, and I train my muscles more often than most people. I don't train like anybody else. I don't follow the crowd. I pretty much, I'm a leader, and I kind of do my own thing, and I do what I feel is the best way.
You're in there every day.
I'm in there every day. I train my arms 3 times a week. I train my shoulders 3 times a week. I train my chest twice a week. I train my back twice a week. I train my legs once every 2 to 3 weeks. I train my calves probably once a week.
Because you know what it needs and what it doesn't.
Yeah, I would train my calves more often. But I just am not that into it, so I haven't been doing it. But calves you could train every other day.
Yeah.
But me training like that, and every single workout's different. Different workout completely. And I think the way I'm training the muscles more often, lighter, higher reps, is really made them grow.
Well, years ago, when I first started training back in the 60s, everything was 3 days a week. That was the rule of thumb for training. You train 3 days a week and 3 days off.
I remember I followed Arnold's workouts. And
well, your parents did that.
Workouts are grueling, man.
Did your parents do the same thing?
Oh yeah.
They were bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And then as it changed, it became twice a week, and then some people are doing once a week, and I don't think once a week's enough anyway.
Yeah.
3 times a week I did when I was in a wheelchair when I hurt my leg, so I went and I did upper body every day, a little bit here and there. I actually grew doing it 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And hitting body parts off and on. And of course, hitting some of them indirectly, it was still working them. And it worked for me, and I still think it might, but I would cut my sets down.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do near as many sets.
Yeah. I mean, I don't, my goal isn't to tear the muscle down so much as I used to.
Yeah.
And I'm not as sore as I used to be.
Right.
But I'm continuously just hitting that muscle, pumping blood and oxygen and feeding it. And for me, it seems to just work incredible.
I don't see you training heavy either.
No, I don't train heavy. I train, moderate, I would say. I mean, I probably train, my lifts are probably half what they used to be.
Well, I see you doing lateral raises with like 15s and 20s, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll start with 10s, and I'll do 40 or 50 reps. And then I'll do 15s for 30 or 40 and 20s. And the heaviest I go on side laterals might be 40s or 50s,
Maybe.
If I'm doing a photo shoot, I'll grab the 70s or 80s just for the reason of all the internet people saying, it's all the weight you can do.
That's an old Joe Weider trick. Joe Weider used to make people pose like Franco with tons and tons of plates. He never used it in a workout. But he said, oh my God, look how much he's lifting. Got 10 plates on that T-bar.
Yeah.
But no one ever did it,
I mean, people, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's just, but I don't know, bodybuilding and what I do, it's about building the physique.
Right.
It's not about, how much weight you lift or
it's not
whatever.
weightlifting.
And once you start getting caught up in how much weight you're doing, that's where that's where you're not getting gains because you're too worried about the weight.
See it all the time in the gym.
And people will still continuously talk about weight. And it's like, I'm doing whatever I can to make my physique the best it can. I don't really care about how much weight I lift,
Yeah.
I mean, if someone challenges me on how much weight I lift, we can step in the parking lot and we can have a challenge in the parking lot, what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter how much weight you lift in the gym. It doesn't matter
at all.
You know?
If you told me you bench 600 pounds, I look at you and say, yeah, I believe it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's all that matters. You do what works for you. Well, you guys, see, there's your answer. You've been wanting the truth. You tell me about Ric's Corner, speaking like it is. We do tell it like it is. Rich is a gentleman. He comes here and talks about what he's done, what he hasn't done, what works, what doesn't work. And this is for your information. So don't rag on him, and don't rag on me for this kind of stuff. This is good knowledge that you're getting for free, and be happy that you're getting it, because it doesn't happen every day. I really want to thank you for this. This is just perfect.
Oh, there's so much more information to be covered too.
We can
have a part 2 on this.
We're going to do 10 more episodes. But we run out of time because you only allowed so many minutes, and then people lose track after 15 minutes, and they said they fall asleep. So we'll come back and we'll do more, but thank you again.
All right.
Definitely appreciate it.
Sure.
And we'll do some more commercials together, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Maybe we'll do a Synthol commercial.
We need to make some money.
We make some money, right? Thanks again for watching Ric's Corner, and be glad that Rich Piana is here. I am.
See you guys.
Don't forget to buy your original Gold Gym t-shirt with my signature and the World Gym Gorilla with my signature at bodybuilding.com. Buy it now before they run out.
It's RickDrayson.com. He is the equalizer, baby. See you next time.